Hello, my dear friends. I am Dr. D.D. Sawant from J.A.T Art Science and Commerce College for Women, Malegaon District, Nashik. The topic which I have selected, that is a magnitude of the age of Earth. As stated, the age of the Earth is about 4,500 million years. Man appeared on the Earth's surface very late in the history of the Earth. It has been calculated that if one thinks of the entire history of the Earth as having occurred in 1 year, the first known living creature would have appeared about 240 days before the end of the very last day, and modern man some 5 minutes before midnight of the last day of the year. So, as meteoroids give us access to debris left over from the formation of the solar system, so we can date meteoroids using the radioactive isotopes and their decay products. As the geologic time, the magnitude of geologic time is easier to comprehend when compared to some tangible linear timeline. To appreciate the magnitude of geologic time, we will abandon members of the moment and refer instead to something tangible and familiar. The length of the football field represents the lapse of time from the beginning of the Earth's history to the present. An absolute time scale and the standard geologic periods are shown on the left. The Precambrian time constitutes the greatest portion of Earth's history, means nearly about 87 years. The Paleozoic and later periods are equivalent to only the last 13 years. To show events with which most people are familiar, the upper end of the scale must be enlarged. The first abundant fossils occur at the 13 yards line. The great coal swamps are at about the 6 yards line. The dinosaurs become extinct about a yard from the goal line, and the last ice age occurs an inch from the goal line. A recorded history corresponds to less than the width of a blade of grass. If the length of geologic time is compared to a football field, the Precambrian time represents the first 87 years, and all events since the beginning of the Paleozoic are compressed into the last 13 years. Dinosaurs first appeared 5 yards from the goal line. The glacial epoch occurred in the last inch, and historic time is so short that it cannot be represented even in large part of the figure that the geologic time chart which is given, and hence in this that the periods of systems which are given as the division of geologic time and the principal physical and biological features are given. So periods which are as eras, if we will see that Cenozoic, Mesozoic, Paleozoic and Precambrian. So these are the periods which are given. As bombardment from the space for the first half billion years of its existence, the surface of the earth was repeatedly pulverized by the asteroids and comets of all sizes. One of these collisions formed the moon. As the periods which we are observing in this, that the formation of the moon is the giant impact hypothesis predicts that around 50 million years after the initial creation of Earth, a planet about the size of Mars collided with Earth. Hence, this idea was first proposed about 30 years ago, but it took calculations by modern high-speed computers to prove the feasibility. As the period which is of the epochs of series in quaternary recent in 12,000 period that glaciers restricted to Antarctica and Greenland, extinction of giant mammals developed and spread of modern human culture. Secondly, if you see the Pleistocene in 600,000 back, great glaciers covered much of North America and northwest Europe, volcanoes along west coast of US. Many giant mammals appearance of modern man late in Pleistocene. So as this collision had to be very spectacular, a considerable amount of material was blown off into space, but most fell back onto the earth. So as the period, if we are observing that the tertiary period is the Paleocene. West North America uplifted, but modernization of mammals first possible. Ape-like men appeared in Africa. Miocene period is that the renewed uplift of Rockies and other mountains. Great lava flows. In West US, mammals began to acquire modern characters. Dogs, modern type, horses, man-like apes appeared. Oligocene, many older types of mammals become extinct. Mushrooms, first monkey and apes appeared. Eocene period is that mountain raised in Rockies, Andes, Alps and Himalayas continued expansion of early mammals. Primitive horse appeared. Cretaceous period is that rocky mountains began to rise. Most plants, invertebrate animals, fishes, and birds of modern types, dinosaurs reach maximum development and then become extinct mammals, small and very primitive. So, as a Jurassic and Triassic period, if you will see that mountains uplifted, lava flow in East North America, ferns and cycads dominant among plants. Modern corals appeared and some insects of modern type. Great expansion of reptiles, including earliest dinosaurs. So, as the premium as final folding in Appalachian and Central European ranges, great glaciers in southern hemisphere, and reefs in warm northern seas, trees of cool forest declined, ferns abundant, conifers present, first cycads and ammoon trees appeared, trilobites became extinct, and hence the reptiles surpassed amphibians. So, like this way, this is the crustal moment of the various periods, and hence the early Precambrian period, that was Archean period, and hence in this period the crust formed on molten earth, crystalline rocks, much disturbed, history which is unknown. Thank you very much.